Kama mimi sahi, I only thank God because I'm using my platform, I'm using my brand, I'm using what God gave me, yeah, to be as a public figure to help other children. And poa kabisa.
Salama?
Nashukuru.
Good to see you. How are you doing?
Mimi niko mzima kama kawaida. Niko mzima kabisa, vinaniona niko fresh.
Yeah. Tunaona watu take place ama take part in a walk. Tukaona watu pia wamepanda miti. Pengine unaweza kutujuza kwa faida tu ya mtazamaji, what exactly has been going on today?
Today imekuwa siku poa sana into ability walk. Ability walk is more about creating awareness kwa watoto wamezaliwa na disability and just sensitizing the nation and even the people around hapa Kijabe kuambia that mtoto akizaliwa na any form of physical disability, most of these physical disabilities can be corrected when someone is still very young. More than 80% can be corrected when someone is still very young. So in information watu wengi wajuangi huku nje. So walk per se kazi yake inakuanga ni ku create awareness. So that was the awareness today, na pia kusaidia in fundraising. Kwa maana pia watoto wakileta kwa hospitali kama hii akiwa hospital wanahitaji kufanyiwa surgery, and surgery, of course all of us know surgery is very costly, but at the end of the day when all of us come together through donations, through well wishers, inakuanga mzuri sana because wase wakisha give hizi pesa zote zotumwa direct to the hospital, and these kids wanakuja wanapewa surgery and their lives are transformed, like even their future is really transformed. Yeah.
Watu wengi ambao pengine kwenye familia zao they tend to have, watoto ambao wako disabled, sometimes they tend to shy away from kuwaleta kwenye limelight, kuwapeleka hospitali wakiwa na hofu kwamba pengine hawatatibiwa, ama pia wana hofu kwamba we don't have enough funding, ya kupeleka mtoto afanywe surgery. Watu kama hao utawaambia nini?
So the biggest challenge we face most of the time when as our foundation, when we go to those villages ama uko mashinani, unajipata uko Malika, Pokot, Samburu, Busia, kule ndani kabisa, Homa Bay. Ukishaingia kule ndani unapata there are some cultures who still believe that giving birth to a child who has any form of disability is a curse. Na bado kuna zile cultures naamini mtu akizaliwa hivyo unasikia anatupwa huko nje, anatupwa kwa msituni na vitu kama hivyo. So kazi yangu muhimu kwa ni kusensitize hawa wazazi. Kazi yangu huanza na local chief. I talk to local chiefs, naambia if you know any child ama any story that you know around the area, kama kuna mtu amezaliwa na any form of disability, kindly tuambie. Kwanza si ufanya kitu inaitwa medical camps like during the week. So kama tumeenda Pokot tutasema Saturday kutakuwa na medical camp, but during the week tunafanya sensitization around the villages, kuambia tu watu on Saturday tutakuwa hospitali fulani, kama uko na mtoto tafadhali mlete Jumamosi, na tunapeana pamphlets, flyers, tunawaambia leteni mtoto. Wakishaletwa kuna kitu nafanyanga inaitwa medical, wanafanywa kama medical inspection to confirm the level of disability that they have, na ku confirm to how it can be resolved. And from there tutachukua namba zao, tunachukua all the information that we need. Our watu wanakuja wanaletwa hapa Kijabe, then surgery is performed on them. But the most important thing ni kuambia the nation ama kuambia wananchi huku nje, if you know anyone who has any form of disability, usiogopa because amezaliwa na disability, maybe hauna pesa na vitu kama hizo. Talk to us. People like us, we know how we can help you and how such challenges they can be, because kuna well wishers. Mimi napatana na watu huku nje wananiambia mimi nitakusaidia mtoto yote tu apate surgery, na unapata ako willing hata kulipia mtoto apate surgery, na uko na mtoko nyumbani pengine una feel hauna hiyo pesa ya kumleta hospitali. So speak up, talk to your local chiefs, talk to your hospital, talk to any organization. Mimi kama unaweza pata handle yangu on social media, just inbox me. I normally help so many kids who are born with disabilities.
Surgery labda ina cost how much? Because tunaelewa hapa ni Kijabe, and most of the people wanaelewa Kijabe inakuwa very very expensive. How much does it cost?
Okay, in general you always quantify useme, because you see there are very different forms of disabilities, physical disabilities, because unapata mtu maybe akona club foot, na mwingine maybe akona mkono maybe imevunjikana ndani ikaikuwa vibaya ikakuwa corrected vibaya, ama mwingine amezaliwa mkono ni fupi na vitu kama hizo. So you see all these things because lazima tuongezwe chuma ndani ndio mkono ikuwe level na hii nyingine. All these things vary, but most of the time we normally tell people that those who want to give is in between 60,000 to 120,000, but the surgery can be even exceeding that amount. But you see, remember at the end of the day, as much as the doctors are doing this through funding and all that, bado kuna some cost here and there that zinafaa kulipwa and all that. But as a parent, that is not your cost. That is not your cost. Your cost as a parent is utuambie tu uko na mtoto anahitaji kusaidiwa, then of course guys will come together, look for ways to make sure that mtu atapata surgery. My aim ni ku make sure that in future kuna eradication of all watu wana disability that can be corrected. You know, kuna zile zenye unajua hii ni more of neuro, but kama ni zile za physical disability that can be things like clubfoot, I don't think in the next like 10 years Kenya we should be witnessing children who are walking with clubfoot. Yeah.
Pengine niulize Cure the center mpaka sasa hivi mmekuwa able kuperformia surgery ambazo zimekuwa successful kwa watoto kama wangapi?
In a year alone is more than 2,000 children. In a year alone, because you can imagine because okay, I don't work at Cure, but my foundation works closely with Cure. Yeah. So mimi peke yangu kama through Malaika Disability Foundation, the children that nimeleta hapa every year is more than 500, 600 every year. You understand? And you see, at the end of the day, Cure alone, they have more than 2,000 kids that they support every year. You understand? And unaona hizi ni shida bado tunaziface around. So when you travel ukienda huko nje mashinani kabisa, you'll find most of these kids na sometimes you can't even blame the parents because unapata ana information na pia anaogopa the stigma, na pia the parent mwenyewe unapata at the end of the day akona a lot of responsibilities to do as a parent, because unajua sometimes unasemanga ati huyu anachukua watoto amewaficha amewafungia na ameenda, but if you go to those women waanze kuambia stories zao, mtu anakuambia mimi nafanya kazi ya kibarua na huyu mtoto nikimwacha nje haezi jitegemea, unaelewa, inabidi nimfungie kwa maana siwezi shinda, huyu mtu anahitaji lazima I must take care of the child 24 hours. Yes. But sasa hata kama na take care of the child niko na watu wengine kama 5 na lazima wakule, na mimi peke yangu na lazima nifanye kibarua ndo nipate unga. So you end up understanding some situations. I don't advocate for it, but you understand some situations and then you advise them to do something that is correct ama the right way to do it. Unaambia if there's and that's why sasa najenga ma children centers ama children's homes ama technical schools around the country. That's another thing that watu wengi wajimu ufanya. I'm going to those villages, tuna make sure tunaongea na county government ama tunaongea na watu wenye donors, we buy land, we build a vocational home for these kids so that at the end of the day there's someone who's taking care of them. You understand? As a mother maybe anaweza kuwa anamleta hapo kama daycare, anamleta anamwacha hapo, kuna caregivers who will take care of the child, mama anaenda kibarua yake and then mtu anashughulikiwa.
Yeah. Owen, as you said, every year mnakuwa na 2,000 people with disability. Na tunaelewa wako wengi. How do you go about this? Maybe unaweza enda upate wako more than that, ama kuna wale wanaweza taka wasaidike lakini nyinyi mnaona labda hawafai kusaidika hiyo time. So how do you deal with such cases?
There's a roster. So by time there's a full calendar whereby we do medical camps, and we've divided so many regions, like tunasema kama sasa tunaenda central, tunaenda coast, tunaenda hivyo, you understand? So by time tunaenda coast region, we know in the coast region if this month we are taking care of coast and eastern, so we know this month is coast and eastern. So kuna a very good schedule that imepangwa because this is a hospital that has been running for so many years, so they have the experience on how they know how to prepare the schedule and the program itself. So sometimes wanakunga more than 2,000, but it doesn't mean that hata kama kwa more than 2,000 hawezi shughulikiwa, bado wanashughulikiwa because we have doctors in this hospital, we have equipment in this hospital, and we have very good caregivers in this hospital. And we have the wards and we have it's just a very good facility that take care of these kids. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that we don't call out for guys well wishers to come and contribute whatever they feel like, because sometimes kama jana nileka tu post hivi, mama fulani nimeweka tu in less than 2 minutes alikuwa shatuma pesa, akantumia message yake ya nini ya M-Pesa, kaniambia this confirmation, I can't make it for the walk tomorrow, but I hope the money that I've sent will help the children. Wow. So that's what we do.
Okay, pengine niulize, we've seen, many people, let me just say a few people come up with organizations kama hii yako ya Malaika, to just be able to help people with disabilities, sana sana watoto. Is it that the government pengine haijafanya enough ama inakuaje?
Government iko na organization inaitwa National Council for Persons with Disability, NCPWD. National Council iko pale Westlands na inafanya kazi yake. Wewe sema tifanye kazi yake, inafanya kazi yake. It's only that it's we know at the end of the day it's already overwhelmed. The same way there's public schools, the same way there's public hospitals, but at the same time we still have private schools and we still have private hospitals. So the government is doing its work through National Council. National Council inafanya kazi yake, but at the same time we can't all depend on just the government. We kama uko na hiyo umepewa kama mimi sahi, I only thank God because I'm using my platform, I'm using my brand, I'm using what God gave me, to be as a public figure to help other children. And you see sometimes whenever I go to those villages, they look at me and they're like, you are so believable, as in we tumekuona, tunakujua, tumejua ukifanya hizi campaign, so whatever you tell us, we know it's true. So sometimes they want to look at someone who they trust, a familiar face that they trust. So the government is doing, but we still call upon the government to continue helping National Council, because National Council, sometimes I always feel like it's overwhelmed, maybe by the budgets and everything. So if the government can continue fund through National Council, we can see, I believe we'll see so many changes. At the same time, there's a bill, I believe, in Parliament right now, I think it's in the Senate, the disability bill that was signed during Kibaki's time. Right now in Bakitu, ipitia Senate, na it's just an amendment that I believe inafaa kupass through Senate. So I'm just calling upon the senators, the Senate, to make sure that such small issues kama hiyo, they just look at it and help most of people who are living with disability. At the same time, there are issues whereby one of the biggest challenges I feel in this country towards the disability ni if someone has physical disability, imagine after 5 years they have to go and renew. You see, kuna mtu akona permanent disability, haitai change. So I don't get the point of why should you go after 5 years? I always wonder, is the government expecting that a miracle tafanyika in between the 5 years? Because if someone has permanent disability, this person life yake iko hivi for the rest of his life. Kama ni kitu ya compare when it comes to tax evasion and all those things, make it permanent. It should not be renewed after 5 years. So that's what I'm just calling upon the government. Kindly, we can check on such things, which is very important. At the same time, funding when it comes to children who are born with disability, how they're going to school and everything. Kindly, I pray and urge the government to look upon such acts.
Okay, huko nyuma kuna ward ya watoto. Yes. And of course tunafahamu kwamba watu ambao wanakuja, they come from different sides of Kenya. Yes. Pengine is there a plan to set up something for them, wazazi wenyewe wakikuja, because I do understand kwamba pengine hii sehemu inaweza kukosa the hotels ama the facilities za kuchukua watu wameona
pale nyuma. Behind this building now, that's where there's the main wards and the main theater ziko pale. But where we are standing right now, this is a new building, as you can see. It's a new building that last year, was it last year? I think last year, because I work closely with the Cure, when I came here, we came here with Sylvia Molinge. At that time, she used to work at Safaricom. So when we came, I told Sylvia, the biggest issue I've noticed about this hospital is that when the children come and the patients, when they come, they have to come with a guardian. But the problem that is happening in this hospital is that hizo ward zenye watoto wanalala zimejengwa za watoto. Even the beds and everything zimejengwa za watoto. So when the guardian comes, they always struggle where to accommodate, where to go and sleep, because mtu anakuja hapa, for example, you find a kid from a place like Malindi ameletwa, Akishaletwa anaambia surgery itafanywa kama after 2 days. Anakaa hapa, inabidi alale hapa. After 2 days surgery ikishafanywa, inadepend na observation ya daktari. Daktari akishaangalia anaona mtoto I thought she'll recover maybe after 2 days, but the complication that through the surgery to may notice that inabidi akae another 14 days. So you see those 14 days, it means the guardian should be staying here with the patient and the child. So that's when we came up with the idea, na nikatafuta funding, we build, tukajenga hii section yote, this ward. Now this ward ni ya guardians. So wale guardians, instead of struggling those days when they're taking care of the children, the guardians now they can come and live here. And I spoke to Sylvia at that time she used to work at Safaricom, and then now Safaricom Foundation decided to give us 37 million to build this ward. Yeah.
Wewe imewachukua kama miezi mingapi ndio ifike ilipofika?
Last year sasa tuko April. I can say 5 months.
5 months.
5 months. 5 months.
So ni pesa tu.
Cause this is like 5 months. Because I remember kama ikuwa groundbreaking tulifanya, ndaangalia hapa ndakuonyesha, tulifanya I think November last year.
So iko na rooms ngapi maybe in general?
In general unajua it's more of like a ward so it's just imekuwa tu partitioned. Sija confirm exactly how many beds, but I can look at the proposal, but I'll confirm how many beds it can accommodate. And I'll take you for a tour, mtaiona. So eventually as Malaika Disability Foundation, we made sure that Kiwa received the funding, and here is the progress of what we did.
Pengine, when are you planning to launch it?
Now that one depends with the administration at Kiwa, because my work per se as Malaika inakuanga ni to look for funding. So nikishapata funding, and then sasa wanapewa responsibility, because you see at the end of the day is their project and it's their facility. So wenyewe wanajua sikinyota, but shafanya groundbreaking, so we're just waiting for the launch. So I'll confirm with the administration when they're planning to do the launch.
Maybe to take you back dogo, what inspired you to have such whatever, like what you're doing right now? Nini ilikuinspire?
I lost one of my eye in 2001, and after losing my eye, I discovered how much people who are living with disability face stigma and all that, because my eye at that time before nifanyiwe operation ilikuanga white. So everyone ilikuwa naenda, watu wananiangalia vibaya, watu wanashanga huyu mtu anakaaje, unaona kila mtu ako, unaelewa, anakutreat different because of your eye. Sasa mimi nikajiuliza, imagine mimi ni macho tu na ni jicho tu moja, na nikaenda kwa hosi nikafanya operation, ikamekwa kama iko poa, haioni lakini inakaa inaona. But imagine in my position at that time, I nimeanza muziki. So by the time I became a musician, I used to have that heavy heart in knowing that people who are living with disability wanna face a lot of challenges and a lot of stigma. So that thing really inspired me, and by the time I knew God has blessed me to a level whereby I can transform lives, I can connect people with such facilities and such programs, I was like, why can't I do it? So in 2012 is when I launched my foundation, Malaika Disability Foundation. By that time it used to be called Malaika Trust, and I started by doing an event called Malaika Tribute Awards, whereby we used to award people who are living with disability who've done great things despite their challenges. Yeah.
Are you looking forward pengine in the future kuzirudisha?
Yeah, I think this year lazima nifanye December 3rd.
Wow.
Yeah, December 3rd. Because ilikuwa inasaidia watu wengi sana. You see, it's only during COVID ndio kulikuwa nayo shida, and then tukaifanya tena. I think last year but one ifanya nyingine. The aim is mostly just to award person who are living with disability who've done great things in the society. Unaona kama caregivers, mtu anajitolea kuja kufanya kazi kwa hospitali na halipwi. Unaelewa? So mtu kama huyo, we award them, we give them 100,000 just to say thank you for the good work that they're doing. Kuna watu unapata mtu wako Kibera amechukua nyumba yake ameweka watu wa disability, mwenyewe anatafutia chakula, vitu kama hizo. Watu kama tunatafutia 100,000 tunapatia a check and a trophy and a certificate just to recognize. It's not a competition, it's just, that's why it's called a tribute awards. We just pay tribute for the work that they're doing.
Wow. Kimalizia tu pengine kwa mtu ambaye anataka kuchangia, to help, what is the number to call, what is the pay bill, what is the till number, and all those necessary details kwa mtu ambaye pengine anataka kuchangia to fund, kutuma funding yake, na pia kwa mtu ambaye anataka usaidizi, what is also the number ambayo unaweza kupiga?
Okay, ndakupatia the paybill number, itakuwa hapa chini, itakuwa hapa chini kwa screen, the paybill number. At the same time you can visit ukiangalia page yangu ya Instagram ama any of my platform, you can inbox me. At the same time kuna page ya Malaika Disability Foundation, inaitwa Malaika Disability Foundation on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, inaitwa hivyo. And then pia kuna page ya AIC Kiwa, into AIC Kiwa Kenya on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. You can just visit their platforms, and if you have an issue, just most of the time by the wase respond immediately when it comes to things about disability. Hata page yangu mu respond immediately, isipokuwa tu kama umetuma vitu zingine na mimi, lakini kama umetuma disability I'll respond. Yeah.
Swali tu la mwisho la kiutani issue ya kupata ya kuoa ulifikiwa? Unatafuta kienyeji?
Maybe amepata.
Umeshapata na utuambie. Ama sasa hivi umechange?
Unajua for now niko busy sana. For now niko busy sana. Nashughulika kidogo, unajua kwa nini nasema hivyo? Niko busy sana.